You know that feeling when you both love and hate a show? Yeah, that. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your September 20th, 2017 NXT review. House cleaning. Let's get it up out of the way. Go to the annotation up above. You will see a couple of things. You will see my Q&A. It's coming out next Thursday. But what's coming out this Thursday, aka tomorrow, barring any unforeseen circumstances, there will be the tackle for WWE No Mercy, the two big WrestleMania-worthy main events with Roman Reigns, John Cena, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. Hoping to get on here with Guapo and Kristen and the whole bit. You guys know the deal by now. If you want to be part of the pay-per-view pick 'em, I know a couple of people have already DM'd me on Twitter and a couple of other things. I've already got a couple people's votes in. It's going to be good. Yeah, listen to the video tomorrow night. Put your picks down in the thing below. You guys know there's no prizes. There's no reward, so to speak. It's just for fun. It's just for fun, because wrestling is supposed to be fun. You can do that if you like. Throw your questions in the Q&A for Thursday, next week. It's going to be good. Go back and check out my coverage of the Mae Young Classic. Yeah, it's over, but I've got some thoughts, and some of you seem to really like it. And I'm trying to think, because it's late in the day, and I should have more to tell you guys, and I just don't. So there's that. So we get to this week's episode of NXT. Like I said in the open, there was a lot of stuff that I liked in this show, a lot of stuff I hated in this show, and not very much in between. Of course, the big talking piece all week has been the passing of Bobby the Brain Heenan, which, I mean, you know, he was dealing with a lot of health things for a long time. Doesn't make it any less sad. There's not much I can say in this video that hasn't already been said in the past couple of days, so I won't really take up too much of your time. But if you want some more thorough thoughts and retrospectives on the passing of Bobby the Brain Heenan, I have two suggestions for you if you're not listening to them already. Go listen to OKFabe. Go listen to Greg Morgan over on the Good Mic Work podcast. Both of them did really, really classy send-offs for Bobby the Brain Heenan. And I can't do it any better than they can. So go check those out if you want. It's hard when somebody passes away because you immediately throw their graphic up, you have your minute of silence or whatever, and then you got to try and bring the crowd back into the action, into the fun. You know, the show must go on, as the saying goes. So a great guy to do that with is Johnny Gargano, who is continuing, for some reason, his one-on-two rivalry with Tito Jobberelli and Gimmick Lost. He's fighting Sabatelli this week for reasons. I love Gargano's music. I love even more the fact that Jobberelli and Gimmick Lost got obsolete chants as soon as they came to the ring. Collar and elbow tie-up, and Tito talks some bullshit, because that's what big, giant guys do. Chops by Gargano, slam by Tito, arm drag, snake eyes, and a left-handed jab by Gargano. Step up enziguri by Gargano. Another slam by Tito, because he's such a dynamic performer, I guess. Super kick and the Gargano escape, and Gargano gets your submission win. Now, a couple things to say here. He beat Gimmick Lost last week, and it was that breaking moment, that insane breaking moment where this guy actually broke out of my submission. I gotta go do something else, and he went to the well and he did that amazing slingshot spear that I love so much. This week, for him to take down another big guy with the submission successfully, great story for Johnny Gargano. This week, for the other guy on the team that said, well, you beat my partner, but you're not going to beat me, and beat the partner as well. Great. You are the smaller guy fighting two much larger guys. You've got the handicap mentality, plus you've got the size discrepancy. Ultimate underdog baby facing Johnny Gargano. I've said he's the next Daniel Bryan if they do it properly. Tito and Gimmick Lost suck a whole lot. I'm just putting that one out there. What is there with these guys? Other than they're big, and they probably give McMahon a hard-on. There's nothing else. Johnny Gargano, I have an immense amount of respect for. You guys know that. He should be doing much, much, much better things than this. Also, though, it's a very strange thing that they're doing on NXT, where they're using their tag teams, such as that division is, to put over singles guys. If you want to look at a prime example, look at the women's division, where you've got, names are escaping me, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Now, the two of them, as a team, were used to put over Ember Moon, which is fine. No problem. Love Ember Moon. Love Ember Moon. Can't stand somebody we're going to talk about later on, but love Ember Moon. She would face Peyton, she would face Billie, she would face Peyton with Billie in the corner, Billie with Peyton in the corner. Eventually there'd be some sort of handicap match, or she'd be stuck with one other random person to get them over. The entire time, you've got a single star that's getting over, and a tag team on the other side of the coin that's getting beaten by one person, which kills the tag team. And then now they're doing the same thing with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce with... Fuck, why are names escaping me? Hey, Ruby Riott, same deal. She took on one, she took on the other. Now, they did their Wicked angle last week by including Nikki Cross in the mix, and I'm assuming that's going to go into something. But for the most part, you've got Ruby Riott, who walked in with absolutely no problem begging to take these ladies on 2-on-1. As a team, that doesn't make them look very dominant. Now, you got a guy like Johnny Gargano, who, as I say, I respect a whole hell of a lot, but he's walking up face-to-face with these two guys that individually tower over him and saying, hey, fuck it, bring it on. Great for Gargano. Great for Gargano. Gargano's a future champion. He is. If they move him up to the mid-card and trap him in the Cruiserweight division, I might be a bit sad. I have a big theory on the next bring-up to the Cruiserweight division, and I'm going to save that for the No Mercy preview because it involves Neville and it involves Enzo Amore. But moving on, I understand why they do it. I really do, because you want to have this guy that's overcoming all the odds. You know, there's two guys. Both guys are bigger than him. He's beating both of them. He's not scared, the whole fucking bit. But you got these two gigantic guys who, while I don't like them, they're bigger, they're stronger, they have the numbers advantage. They should be intimidating. They, not AOP level of intimidating, but they should be intimidating. And whatever respect I might have had for them is gone. So NXT really has to watch that story that they're telling. Now, they go to the back. They go to William Regal's office, and you got Roderick Strong talking about all he's done, talking about the fact that he's only had one title shot. He went back, he beat Bobby Roode in Bobby Roode's last match. He's done everything he needs, and he deserves a title shot. William Regal says, you're right. You're getting the thing in 2 weeks. And that's that. It's very anticlimactic. It's when they show a backstage segment, I want them to show some conflict. I don't want there to be a simple, hey, I want a contract, or I want a title shot. Okay. That's a waste of a segment. You could just throw it to one of the commentators and say, you know, William Regal has, you know, recently announced that so-and-so has a title match next week. They throw up a quick graphic while they're coming on to do a match and face whoever. A little anticlimactic, and when they put a title match on the actual show, it's kind of like going to a house show. You know a title's not going to change unless something really fucked up happens. They replay the exit segment for Asuka from 2 weeks ago again, but they use it as a jumping off point to talk about how the NXT title picture is in flux. We know Kairi Sane is going to face somebody at the next TakeOver. It's a fatal four-way. I've read some spoilers on who some of the women that are going to be involved in this are, but I'm not going to do that right now. But then they start going to individual people, and they started with Sonya Deville, which I really like. People were saying with the introduction of Shayna Baszler, with WWE and all their workings with Ronda Rousey, they're going to pull back on Sonya Deville because Sonya Deville has that MMA-ish gimmick, and I'm really glad that they're not doing it, because every week that she doesn't have a match, I mean, granted, she's in the beginning of her push, so most of the matches are squash matches, but every week that she doesn't have a match, they are constantly playing highlights of her, hype packages, video packages, the whole bit. So they're gonna do something with her. I know they're not gonna give her the title right now. I know that. We kind of know where they're going with that, and you know, congratulations in advance, Kairi Sane. But she cuts a promo in the back, talking about, you know, you ever wonder why Asuka was undefeated for so long? You ever wonder why me and her never had a match? It's because Asuka knew that she wouldn't be undefeated if she had faced me, but now she's gone, and the title's going to be mine sooner or later. It's great. It's wonderful. We're boosting up the women's division leaps and bounds with the Mae Young Classic. It's all fantastic, except the next match. Lacey Evans versus Bianca Belair. And I said it on Twitter, and I'm going to say it again here, and I don't make any apologies for it, and people are going to call me whatever they're going to call me. I'm already over Bianca Belair. The hair whip gimmick is stupid. She's been wrestling for a year, and it shows. And she's going to get pushed to the moon for political reasons that we're all aware of that I'm not going to mention here. But Lacey Evans versus Bianca Belair. Lacey Evans was somebody I'm glad went over to the Mae Young Classic because she was somebody that we had already seen in NXT. I didn't think very much of her, and I didn't know how to take the gimmick, but, you know, giving her longer matches with various opponents, etc., got me to... I don't have any more of a grasp on her gimmick than I did before. Yes, she's a former military person, and that's great and that's wonderful, and especially if you're in America, you carry a lot of respect with that. But that's not a gimmick. So pair her amazing athleticism in the ring with a great gimmick, and you will be okay. But anyways, collar and double tie-up and some random shoving by Bianca Belair, some hair pulling and some slapping by Bianca Belair, a boot and trip combination by Evans, and a really messy looking facebuster by Belair. Forearm trip combo, another slingshot, and fuck me, I can't read my writing tonight. A forearm and trip combination by Evans, a slingshot leg drop by Evans, a palm strike and a stiff lariat by Evans, a running high knee followed with a neckbreaker by Evans, and then, because it's 2017 and for reasons, some hair whip bullshit and a messy looking powerbomb get the win for Bianca Belair. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Hair pulling and slapping and shoving and Aleister Black speaks. They made a big deal out of this, which I don't think they should have. It is a big deal that he spoke because it was a bad idea that he spoke. Aleister Black has that silent but deadly, the less I say, the more mysterious I'm going to be. I'm just going to come beat your head off. Me merely showing up at the top of the rampway while you're cutting a promo should be enough to make you shit your pants. As soon as you speak, you lose that. You really do. Brock Lesnar doesn't have that in a promo. That's why he has Paul Heyman. Braun Strowman has that. Undertaker obviously had that. Kane, to a certain degree, had that. You want these big, unattainable monsters to be mysterious, and if you don't have the voice to do that, you shouldn't be speaking. But the content of what he said was decent. It's a typical new guy in NXT promo, really. 15 years ago, I started this great big journey that led me to NXT. I traveled, I saw things, I experienced things. I put them on my skin. I wrote my story and my struggles in scabs on my skin, and I know what I need to do now. He eventually, as the promo goes on, I should take back what I said a little bit. As the promo goes on, he does get more and more intense. Until he's interrupted. Excuse me. Interrupted by the Velveteen fucking Dream. Whoever wrote this episode, whether it was, I don't know if Regal had some creative control, I don't know whether it was Triple H himself, some of the writers, whether they borrowed a Raw writer for the night, I have to ask you the question. Are you fucking high? Are you fucking high? You got this gigantic monster that you're trying to build up in Aleister Black, who's doing a good job. I saw him at the NXT house show in Toronto a couple weeks ago at Maple Leaf Gardens. You guys can go back a couple of videos and watch my thoughts on that. This guy, in person, and I'm saying this as a wrestling fan, not as a regular everyday human being, but as a wrestler to watch in the ring, this guy's fucking terrifying, and that was at a house show without any of the glitz and glam and pomp and circumstance of a real show. And you're gonna have him in there against the Velveteen Dream, and oh my god, the Velveteen Dream talks some shit. He says, he's calling him, he's mocking him, he says, call into the light, come into the light, Mr. Black. You've walked in darkness for 15 years. You're gonna be blinded by the light of the Velveteen Dream. I don't see any scars, but I do see pain. The pain is scribbled on your skin like lies. I'm making fun of your tattoos. Awesome. The problem is your fear. I look at you, and you look afraid. And it's such bullshit. And I'm sorry. Remember Orlando Jordan? The guy who was in the cabinet when JBL had the cabinet. decent athlete. Really, really decent athlete. I can't take anything away from him as an in-ring competitor. But he left WWE. He went to TNA, GFW, ABC, XYZ, NWA, Impact, Owl Wrestling. And they let him go with the fact that he was, I don't know whether he's homosexual, bisexual, whatever. Doesn't matter. No judgment. Whatever. But they let him just go write his own page and write his own character and do this really bizarre gimmick where he was, you know, and it's just like this. He was really trying to be the Black Goldust. And it didn't work then. It was like bloopers from a Marilyn Manson video. And anybody that knows me knows what I think of Marilyn Manson. Moving on. It's the same thing here. Because Aleister Black gets tired of the shit and goes back to what he should be doing. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let my actions do my speaking for me. Black mass kick. But he doesn't black mass kick him in the face or the chest or kick him out of the ring. He black mass kicks the microphone out of his hand, out of the ring. To his credit, a little bit. Velveteen Dream sells his hand like it's fucking broken. Aleister Black does the pose, that seated, I don't know what you call it. I think they call it Indian style, which, you know, after some of the Jinder Mahal promos that we've heard recently, I really shouldn't be saying that. But he does that pose where he just sort of sits and looks up and waits. And that pose for Aleister Black should be what the big handout thing was for The Undertaker when he was reaching out into the big dark forces, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call that moment, that pose, that, you know, the slash across the throat, whatever you want to say it is. That seated center of the ring pose for Aleister Black should be that. Velveteen Dream, without flinching, slinks down to his knees. It's all very awkward and homoerotic and strange, right in Aleister Black's face, and slinks out like some cocky drag queen. Let's be real for a second. And what the fuck are you doing? What the actual fuck are you doing? If you've got a cocky heel champion, or even a cocky babyface champion, if you got Miz on NXT, Miz out there, Miz Taraj, Hollywood guy, I'm the cool guy, fucking check me out. And you have somebody like Velveteen Dream come up to him and do all this weird shit, and Miz can turn around and be like, what the fuck are you doing, get away from me? Or like a JBL when he was dealing with the Boogeyman. You don't do that with a monster like Aleister Black. You're fucking wrong on this one. You guys know, I come to this channel, I stick up for this brand more than a lot of other people do. It doesn't make me a superhero or an amazing, fantastic person, but I admit where my biases are. I stopped reviewing Raw. I stopped reviewing SmackDown. I pump this brand as much as I possibly can because I honestly believe it's the best brand in the WWE. But you fuck up when you do shit like this. And this is going to be the new feud now. And it's such a bad... Okay, I gotta go back again. You can't do Goldust in 2017. You can't. People are PC, TV networks and editors and people that approve shit are all whipped by social justice warriors and soccer moms and feminists and everybody that's out there just looking to be pissed off about something. You can't do original Goldust anymore, which definitely means you can't do a third or fourth rate imitation Goldust with a guy that nobody's invested in and nobody gives a shit about. And people are out there like Goofball from New York saying, oh, he's got a better elbow drop than Macho Man. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. This is some bullshit. I feel really bad for Aleister Black right now. Anyways, and yeah, I'm getting kind of pissed off because I genuinely expect more from NXT than WWE. But, I mean, at least he's not cutting promos about people eating cats and such. Again, Jinder Mahal, I'm looking at you. Backstage promo by Dakota Kai. This put the gigantic smile on my face. Dakota Kai, aka Bayley done properly. Fantastic in the Mae Young Classic. Go and check out, if you haven't seen the Mae Young Classic, go check out Dakota Kai versus Kairi Sane in the quarterfinals. One of the best matches in the tournament. Not the best. Not the best, and neither is Bianca Belair in the best match of the tournament. Fuck Bianca Belair with the fucking hair whip gimmick. I have to be careful what I say you know, YouTube. I'm not monetized on here. I'm not making any fucking money, but they'll kick me off YouTube anyway. That's just how that'll go. Dakota Kai, you know, basically comes out and cuts what a Bayley promo should be. Yeah, I'm a good person. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to try and do things the right way, but don't think I'm not going to kick your head off. Great, simple, straight to the point. These backstage if we get a promo or two like this from the women every week leading up to TakeOver Houston, it'll be good. Sonya Deville needs more attention. She's getting it. They need to keep doing it. Dakota Kai, amazing in the tournament. I guess this promo is her debut in NXT, which is kind of lame. Push her. Give her something. It'll be good. So, because I had to sit through that Velveteen Dream fuckfest, I got a little bit of a reward. And that reward came in the form of No Way Jose versus Lars Sullivan. Now, we go back to the last TakeOver, to the dark match of the last TakeOver that nobody gives a shit about. It was on the NXT after TakeOver that's filmed before TakeOver, so you know nothing of substance is going to happen. Hell, I don't even think I reviewed the NXT that came after the last TakeOver. But Lars Sullivan attacked No Way Jose for reasons, and it makes me smile a whole bunch, because fuck No Way Jose. Here's the deal. I'm going to put it out to you like this. My Get Off My TV list, the trilogy of bullshit from NXT, used to be The Drifter, No Way Jose, and Andrade Cien Almas. The Drifter is one of the few people, along with Baron Corbin, who left NXT and actually became better on the main roster. So props to him for that. Replacing him in the NXT trilogy of bullshit is Velveteen Dream. It is official. No Way Jose tries something. He tries a strike or a punch or something ill-fated, and he gets tossed off by Lars Sullivan. Lariat and knee strikes by Sullivan. Tosses Jose out of the ring and snake eyes on the apron. There's a corner splash, a corner lariat by Sullivan, a neck vice, a hip attack, and a corner backdrop by Sullivan. Lars, I love this. I love this so much. No Way Jose tries to go in for a clothesline. Lars runs right through it. And then he does it again. Fuck you, fuck your arm, fuck your clothesline, and fuck you. Top rope headbutt, Benoit style, and that gut wrench rock bottom that he does gets the win. Lars Sullivan, I don't want to oversell the guy. Don't put him up on the main roster yet. Give it a couple years, you're going to see Lars Sullivan versus Braun Strowman, and it's going to be fucking epic. That will be the next time that they break the ring on SmackDown and pretend that it's the first time it ever happened. Oh, yes. Main event time. And this is where you can tell that they've really brought in the UK division guys for this set of tapings. You've got Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, who go by the tag team name Mustache Mountain, which invites all kinds of jokes that I'm not going to do on this channel, versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, a.k.a. those guys from ROH, along with Adam Cole, baby. Beatdown last week on some of the UK guys. This is the comeuppance, I guess. We're going to push the ROH guys by having them go against the UK division on NXT instead of fighting anybody from NXT. Yet, we'll get to that in a second. And we'll get to why Roderick Strong's attempts at the NXT Championship are going to be futile once again. Oh, yes. O'Reilly and Bates start. There's a lot of chain wrestling to start, and I can't. It's what I've always said with the UK guys. They do a lot of such fluid chain wrestling that I can't specifically pick out, they did this and then they did this and then they did this, because it's almost one continuous motion. It's awesome. It's great to watch. Very hard to take notes on. Dropkick by Bate and a wasteland by Seven. A swanton by Bate and a front face lock by Seven. A back elbow by Fish. A snapmare and a senton. Double team by the ROH guys, and they hit Seven with double arm breakers. They've each got an arm. They each do an arm breaker over the shoulder, etc. Seven's the taller guy. I guess he's the easier guy to do those arm breakers on. Chops by Seven and a spike DDT that is fucking dirty. And Nigel McGuinness said, "Planted like a palm tree here in Florida," which made me smile. Boot by O'Reilly, a double leg and some mounted punches. Fish spears Trent Seven into the guardrail on the outside. Now, that's not exactly an original spot. It happens a lot. But when you get it at an NXT show, especially in the NXT arena, Full Sail University, whatever you want to call it, it is kind of a little more awkward, and awkward makes it look more painful because there's so much less space around the ring than there is in a regular WWE show. WWE show, you could drive a car around the ring. Let's be real for a second. Top rope uppercut by Bate and an elbow by O'Reilly. Exploder suplex by Bate. The exploder suplexes by Bate are fucking sick too. He's a little dude. to pull off the exploder suplexes on these guys. I mean, granted, the ROH guys aren't that great. They're vanilla midgets and all that. Shooting star press by Bate. Powerbomb neckbreaker combination by Bate and 7. Suicide dive by 7. Guillotine by O'Reilly. Suplex with a kick combination by O'Reilly and Fish. Chops by 7, who follows it up with a single leg crab. Adam Cole. Super kick to Bate, and everything from the way he sets it up to the way he positions himself to the way he sort of takes that little half step afterwards really, really screams to me, hey guys, I'm trying to be Shawn Michaels. Worse than what Dolph Ziggler did on SmackDown last night. A whole lot of reversals and then a high-low by Fish and O'Reilly get the win. Kind of an anticlimactic way for the match to end. Doesn't change the fact that as much as I've ripped the ROH guys for not giving me a reason to care, this was a cool match. Their leader hasn't had a match yet, which is par for the course, I guess. But we're putting over the guys that are under him. And I guess the idea is he's their leader. If the guys under him are that great, he must be that great too, and we'll be excited to see his debut, which doesn't work, but whatever. Double teaming, triple teaming on the UK guys once again until you hear Drew McIntyre's music. Drew McIntyre stands there on the rampway and stares a hole through Adam Cole, baby. And even though they could easily beat down Drew McIntyre 3-on-1, because they're heels and because reasons, they run away. And they've got, if you are looking straight up the ramp, from the NXT ring, and I'm going to try to be visual here, so bear with me for a second. They've got what seems to be their own exit to the one side, where they sort of cut through the crowd and there's an open area and notifications are going off. We can take care of those later. And they sort of head towards the exit. Now, the great thing about this is their exit is kind of shadowed because it's not part of the presentation. It's not part of the show, or at least it's not presented to be. But out of the shadows come SAnitY, which is amazing. And they didn't have Nikki Cross with them, which makes me sad, but whatever. So they back the ROH guys back towards the ring. And there's a 4-on-3 beatdown. And Nigel McGuinness, once again, I got to give a lot of credit, you know, first time ever, ROH guys are suffering the repercussions of the numbers game. They're getting a dose of their own medicine, etc., etc. It ends with them, you know, limping away by the commentator table, and obviously Drew McIntyre, you know, roaring from the top turnbuckle with his belt and looking all impressive as shit. SAnitY are kind of clustered around him, so you know every male champion on NXT right now is going after the ROH guys, which is cool. You, as a faction, are going after all the titles you can possibly get. Now, here's a couple of things. You're going to have a 3-on-3 match at some point. Now, SAnitY has 3 members. So you could have that 3-on-3 match right there, which I'm sure they will. But eventually, there's going to be, oh my god, look at all these champions on one team versus these 3 ROH guys. Killian Dane, who should be the biggest killer on that team, won't be included in that match because they'll want to keep the preface of, look at all these champions fighting whatever. And because Eric Young cut in at the last TakeOver, he's actually the one on the team, along with Alexander Wolf, that's recognized as a champion. That leaves a little something to be desired. Furthermore, we're going forward with Drew McIntyre versus Adam Cole. It's as obvious as the writings on Aleister Black's arms. But there's a problem with that because you know they're going to set that up for Houston. And it's already been set. It's not just that Adam Cole's going to go for the championship. He's going to go for the championship against Drew McIntyre. So why the fuck do I care about Drew McIntyre versus Roderick Strong in 2 weeks where I know nothing's going to happen? NXT. So much cool shit. Go forward with this Adam Cole, Drew McIntyre thing. Go forward with the other 2 Nimrods that look inbred going against SAnitY for those titles. Go forward with giving Nikki Cross the Women's Championship. I know you want to put it on Kairi Sane because you just lost Asuka. I get it. Put it on Nikki Cross. Let SAnitY be that faction that walks around with all the fucking belts. Killian Dane versus Drew McIntyre again for the big title. But don't bother giving Roderick Strong this match in 2 weeks that we know he's going to lose. Have it be Drew McIntyre goes on to face another opponent in Adam Cole, baby, and have that fuel Roderick Strong's anger. Let him become a more aggressive babyface. He was overlooked again. This is fucking bullshit. Da, 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 da. Then when Adam Cole wins the title, which he probably will, then you have Roderick Strong, who's been fucked over so many times and sees the injustice put forward by Roderick Strong and all his guys, and have him go conquer Roderick Strong. Have him go be the ultimate babyface like Gargano, win the numbers advantage with, you know, Adam Cole and all his other guys backing him up. Roderick Strong fought through the numbers advantage and he won the title. I don't know why they're doing it now, when we know nothing's going to happen, when we know what the match is going to be at TakeOver Houston. So much good shit in the wrong order fucks it all up. Bianca Belair being on the show fucks it up. Friggin' Aleister Black getting interrupted by a goofball like the Velveteen Dream, who just became the third member of the trifecta of bullshit on NXT, is fucked up. But yet, in the middle of all that, there is good shit. We're pushing Kairi Sane. We're pushing Dakota Kai. We've still got Ember Moon. We've got, you know, what the fuck is her name? Names tonight is just not happening. Daria Baronato, a.k.a. Sonya Deville, getting pushed. You still got friggin' Peyton Royce and Billie Kay that are great. You've got SAnitY with the tag team titles, which is entertaining as all hell. Drew McIntyre as the champion is your figurehead. You don't have Bobby Roode anymore. It's great. But like I said at the beginning of the show, and I'll say it again now, two handfuls. One is great, one is shit, and you gotta get rid of the other one. I want to love this brand. I want to come up here, like I say, like I always do, and promote this brand and make this the golden brand. I want to be that cliche with it, that NXT Yellow is really gold. But get rid of some of the bullshit. Get rid of No Way Jose. Get rid of the fucking Velveteen Dream. Andrade Cien Almas. Change up his gimmick. Make me give a shit about how good he is in the ring and go forward. Lars Sullivan should be killing people 2 or 3 at a time. Do it. I don't know. Such a fucking mixed show. Probably gathers a lot of opinions. Probably a lot of people don't agree with me on a lot of things, and I invite you, put it down in the box below. But anyways, I've rambled on long enough. I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all of these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.